By Connecticut Husky standards, there hasn't been much to clap about lately. 3 conference losses have landed UConn in unfamiliar territory in the middle of the Big East pack. With 8 games left, the Huskies need to get pointed in the right direction. Tonight, Boston College and Super Frosh Troy Bell take on the defending national champions next. We don't mean to suggest it's been a while since Boston College beat UConn, but the last time it happened, Ronald Reagan was in the White House. Tonight from the Hartford Civic Center, the Boston College Eagles beat the 12th-ranked Connecticut Huskies. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Ron Perry. Thanks so much for joining us for Big East basketball. So, you think defending a national championship is easy? Just ask UConn. And Ron, after a 10-1 start, the Huskies have now lost 4 of their last 10.
That's right, Bob, and 2 of their last 5. It's not easy when you come in ranked #1 in the country, and that's what's happened to UConn. No nights off. The Syracuse loss, a bad one, and Michigan State over the weekend. They really need to bounce back with a big game here tonight against Boston College.
And the Husky who's struggling the most is a guy who perhaps was their most consistent player the last 3 years.
That's right. Kevin Freeman, a guy that Jim Calhoun can really count on game in and game out inside, but his points are down, his rebounding is down. Came in as the #2 field goal percentage man all time at UConn. He's down to #9. Needs to step it up with a big one here tonight.
Now, Boston College has lost 9 in a row, including 2 over the weekend. This one at St. John's was a heartbreaker.
Really was. BC's lost 8 Big East games in a row. This one was on the road. They've been averaging 6 points in the losses, in this one by 1 at the buzzer. Bell almost got it to go. A very, very tough game for Boston College on the road. And Troy Bell, their Super Frosh, #2 scorer in the conference, had 26. A great game against St. John's and against Vanderbilt on Sunday. 0 for 9 from the field. Needs a big one if BC wants to pull off the upset tonight.
UConn has defeated Boston College 21 straight times. Will the streak continue tonight in Hartford? The starting lineups are... Welcome back to Hartford and the 80th meeting between UConn and Boston College. Let's check the starting lineups first for visiting BC. Freshman Yuka Agbai coming off a career-high 19-point performance in a loss at Vanderbilt on Sunday. He's 8th in the Big East in block shots. His coach is Al Skinner. In his 3rd year at Boston College, spent the previous 9 years at Rhode Island. For UConn, senior center Jake Voskuhl will not play tonight. Out with a sprained ankle, it's only the 3rd game he'll miss in his entire career. Getting the start instead will be Suleiman Wan at center. The first start of the season for him, the 3rd start of his career. Jim Calhoun, in his 14th year as coach of the Huskies, one of only 2 New England coaches to win a Division I national championship. And BC reeling from the 9 straight losses, Ron, and as far as timing is concerned, I'm not sure it's a good time to be playing the Huskies.
I would say not. I think Connecticut's going to come out really loaded and ready in this game. BC has been in games in the 8 losses. They've been losing them by an average of 6.5 points per game in Big East play. They've been in them, haven't been able to get over the hump. See if they can do it here tonight.
Mike Pitts throws the ball up. He's working with Gene Monge and Olandis Poole. Tap controlled by UConn, and here comes Khalid El-Amin, the 5th leading scorer in the Big East, being defended man-to-man by Xavier Singletary.
I think we'll see BC in some man early. They may play some zone. They're going to try to box out against the top front line.
Juan turns and shoots over Agbai. Rebound Michael Cotton. Here come the Eagles and Troy Bell. Left side Harley has some room. Throws it up over Juan. Agbai's putback no good, and Edmund Saunders pulls down the rebound.
A couple of great looks for BC. They've got to convert on those bunnies inside and put them down.
Inside Freeman, lost out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles with 27 seconds left on the shot clock. The 80th meeting between the two, and it's been all UConn since February 23rd, 1988. The last time BC won a game, it was at a place that doesn't even exist anymore, the Boston Garden. On the side, UConn's Albert Mooring stepped on the sideline, so a turnover for the Huskies. And we're still looking for our first points of the night.
Really an incredible run for UConn against BC. However, these young players like Troy Bell and Xavier Singletary, they haven't been around for that streak. However, they're probably aware of it and saying we want to, get a winning streak going. More importantly, they just want to get a W right now, Bob. They've been close, but not able to get it done.
Inside Harley, fadeaway over Freeman. Kenny Harley, the 6'5" junior from the Bronx, with the first points of the night.
Important on the road to get on the board and get in the game quickly, and BC does just that with a nice turnaround.
Right side, it's Elamine being defended by the much taller Singletary. He has 8 inches on Elamine. And Bell, the point guard, getting the assignment on UConn shooting guard Mooring. Shot clock at 10. Elamine around the screen comes Mooring, and he has been on fire, shooting 64% from three-point range in his last 9 games. That was a 2.
Well, that's a good start for Mooring. He can really get it going from the 2-guard spot, and Connecticut needs him with Elamine at the point. Nice defense.
So UConn is going point to point with Elamine defending Bell. But BC is doing it the other way around with the shooting guard Singletary guarding Elamine. First foul of the evening will be called on UConn, and right away Jim Calhoun will go to his bench, and Joe Deng will replace Juan.
To UConn at the other end. Albert Mooring does a nice job to move without the ball, and Juan sets a nice screen for him, and that really sets the table for that jump shot from the wing to get UConn on the board.
Nice spin move by Cotton, who loses the handle, gets it back himself.
Boston College basketball.
The way to stay with it. Never assume that the play is over. Stay with it until you get the finish.
Saunders, right sideline to Mooring. So Deng, who earlier in the year started at the small forward, now in the lineup at center. Inside Saunders, put back Mooring, no good, and it's finally pulled down by Singletary.
The boards will be big in this one. Whoever can control them.
And Agbai beats Deng down the floor, and Jim Calhoun calls an early timeout, and he is not happy at all. 17:27 to go, first half, and Boston College, who has lost 9 in a row, with an early 4-point lead over the defending national champ. Hartford, the man in the middle, not in uniform, is Doug Wren, a freshman from Seattle. Both he and Tony Robertson have been reinstated after a 1-game suspension for the Michigan State game for an off-campus incident. Robertson is in uniform tonight. There's Tony, the freshman from East Providence, Rhode Island, is expected to play. Wren is not in uniform, and Ron, it's not the first transgression for Wren, and that's the reason why, although he's been reinstated and is eligible to play, he'll sit it out tonight.
Yeah, he'll sit it out, and Robertson will see some minutes, and it's going to be important that they're productive ones for UConn. They're down numbers tonight with Voskuhl out as well.
Agbai rejects the shot by Saunders. Then Bell with his first shot of the evening. Rebound off the hands of Agbai to Cotton. Eagles out hustling the Huskies in the other goal.
Beating them to the ball. That was Jim Calhoun's point during the timeout. It was a very flat start for UConn. I expected them to come out very fired up after their weekend defeat at the hands of Michigan State.
Freeman takes it right out of the hands of Harley, and it was last touched by Harley. The Huskies lost to Michigan State on the road. Michigan State was ranked 6th in the country by 19. Let's take a look at the Agbai rejection, his team leading 31st in the year.
I don't think Saunders expected that.
No.
Agbai is very active inside, and important in this game that he stays on the floor for Boston College.
But that final margin of victory of 19 in no way told the story of how much Michigan State dominated. Mooring for 3. Gets the roll. Albert Mooring leads the Big East in 3-point shooting percentage, and he's 8th in the country, his first of the night.
He drilled that one, but he'll take it, and that's a good roll for UConn. They needed that hoop.
Singletary comes off the screen and hits the jumper.
Xavier Singletary.
You can tell this is a Boston College team if you haven't seen them before. They've been in games. They're confident that they can play with everyone in this league. Their problem has just been getting a W to go down.
Elamine drives down the lane, and it's tipped up and in by Deng, the sophomore from London who grew up in the Sudan, sat out last year as a partial qualifier, and has been a major disappointment in his first year at UConn.
Well, some people are going to have to start stepping it up for UConn, and Deng one of them if they're going to make a real concerted run at the title again this year in the Big East and in the NCAA tournament.
Right side, Freeman puts it on the floor, then finds Saunders up top. It's BC by 1. We've played 4.5 minutes. Saunders on the left, Elamine. Nice lob down low. Saunders, he's triple teamed, and Cotton takes it away.
I think he wanted to get it to Freeman. You get it down that low with his size, find a way to get that shot up.
Agbai down low, kick out Bell, right back into Agbai. Had great position, but Deng blocks it anyway. Now Deng brings it up the floor himself. At 6'10", he has at least some semblance of point guard ball handling skill. And as we just saw, some semblance of big man shot blocking skills. Elamine can't get the three to go. Last touch by Mooring, and that brings us to our first official timeout of the evening. 14:45 to go in the first half. BC by 1. You're watching Big East basketball from ESPN+. Big East in three-point field goals. Here's his 51st of the year.
Well, he's been so accurate. That's amazing if you can make one out of every two. Anything over 40% is very effective, and he's really done the job from three-point land this year.
Mooring, 51 out of 100 for three-point range. Right side, it's Bell, who has been defended by Elamine, and now Robertson in the lineup getting the assignment on Bell. The two freshmen guarding each other. And Harley called for steps as he tries to dribble drive by Deng. Mooring, the second leading scorer in the Huskies and the 15th leading scorer in the Big East. This is what the Huskies have done tonight and what Mr. Mooring has done.
He's done a nice job. He's been there. He's making his shots. And the way UConn has started off shooting the basketball, fortunate that he has had a hot hand.
So Jim Calhoun going small here with three guards in the lineup with Elamine, Mooring, and Robertson. And Elamine steps in the end line. Turnover number 3 for Jim Calhoun's Huskies.
Well, it's important in this game that UConn picks the tempo of this thing up. They have to generate it off their defense, but to do that, they've got to score, put that 2-2-1 pressure on. And Boston College has taken good care of the ball. And in 10 of their last 11 games, they've committed fewer turnovers than the opposition. Connecticut needs to turn that around tonight.
Down low, Agbai wants to go on Deng. He's much stronger than Deng. Little jump hook, no good, and the rebound knocked out of bounds by Cotton.
The longer you play this kind of tempo, though, it favors BC. They're not as deep. They're not as strong inside. And Connecticut has got to find a way to pick the tempo up, push the ball up the floor, control the boards, and get their fast break action going.
Good hand for Deng, who departs as Juan returns. Now, Deng fell asleep defensively on his very first trip down the floor, but since then has done some positive things at each end of the floor. Robertson to Mooring, who comes around the screen. That was like the play they ran for Rip Hamilton the 3 previous years. And Freeman will get to the free throw line off the offensive boards.
And that's something Jim Calhoun wants to see. He wants to see Freeman in and around the glass, get involved with the backboards. That's really been his mainstay over the past 4 years. Nice screen right there, the curl around with Juan setting that screen. And you can see a couple of white jerseys right there just beating Boston College to the basketball.
Kevin Freeman is 8th on the career list at UConn in free throws made. And we mentioned right at the top of the telecast that Freeman has struggled. This is a comparison of his numbers from last year to this year. Probably the biggest discrepancy, Ron, is in the field goal shooting department.
Played a little bit more facing the basket this year, the jumper, and it hasn't gone down with the consistency that inside type of action has gone down for Kevin throughout his career. He needs to be in there a bit more.
So Freeman departs after his first 2 points of the night as Edmund Saunders returns to the lineup for the Huskies. Bell at the point to Cotton. Agbai defended by Juan. Elamine on the much taller Singletary. Left side jumper, Cotton. And Juan cleans up off the boards. He's averaging 5.5 rebounds in only 14 minutes per game. That's solid production off the bench tonight, getting the start for the injured Voskuhl.
And a lot of times a guy in his position will really elevate his game with Jake Voskuhl out tonight with the ankle injury. Let's see if that's the case for both Juan and Deng.
And Robertson called for steps as he drags the pivot foot. Turnover number 4 for the Huskies as we look at Jake Voskuhl, who holds the all-time record at UConn for most career starts with 122. This is only the 3rd game he has missed in his entire career. He missed both Syracuse games last year with a stress fracture, although those 2 games were several weeks apart. A very solid and durable contributor to this Huskies team.
And he's been hot of late. They'll miss him out there tonight, no question.
Walls misses the shot, but Kenny with the putback. Walls has had 9 double-figure games, or make it 10 double-figure games off the bench. Averages 21 minutes per game and gets on the board early. Juan misses the shot. Rebound Agba.
Connecticut seems flat tonight. I'm surprised. I thought they'd be much crisper on defense, generating some offense, and right now Boston College right in this game.
Singletary comes off the screen, misses the shot. The rebound off the hands of Robertson and winds up in the hands of El Amin. We've played a little over 8 minutes. It's BC by 1. And another turnover for the Huskies.
That one off of El Amin's foot as their problems continue early in this ball game.
Timeout, 11:43 to go in the first half. It's BC by 1 over UConn. Big East in scoring with 78 points per game, but through the first 8:17, only 9 points for the Huskies. A slow start, which was the problem Saturday at Michigan State when the Huskies hit only 8 of their first 28 shots. Ron, on that game on Saturday, UConn trailed 46-17 at the half.
Just never got into that game. Of course, everywhere they play, it's the biggest game of the year for the opposition. They're up for them and they're ready. Nice shot by Bell. But Connecticut in this game, you'd think, Bob, coming out of that would show more passion early, and it doesn't seem to be there so far in this one.
Bo Archibald in the lineup, number 5 for the Huskies. As El Amin gets his first rest of the night. Roaring puts it on the floor, then down low Saunders for the jump hook. Rebound inside Freeman. Misses the shot, gets his own miss, and gets fouled. Now, even though he didn't finish, that's the Kevin Freeman that we've seen in his first 3 years here at UConn.
Now, Boston College double teaming. That time Saunders leaving a good opening on the weak side for Kevin Freeman, and that's where he needs to be. Somehow he doesn't get that ball to kiss off the glass high enough, but that's just trademark Freeman. We talked about him, his need to do a better job on the boards, and he seems active, particularly at the offensive end tonight.
El Amin, after a brief rest, returns, replacing Mooring. Freeman tonight has moved into a tie for 6th place on the all-time UConn list for games played, and he's only 7 games behind the all-time record holder Ricky Moore. So barring an injury, Freeman will end his career here at UConn as the all-time record holder in games played. When you look at how deep UConn has gone into the postseason in the 90s, that's quite an accomplishment.
It really is. That's a lot of games for Kevin Freeman. It also says he's been here during a very successful 4-year stint for the Huskies.
And here's Saunders with the great anticipation, stepping in front of Agba to intercept the entry pass. El Amin, left side Robertson. Saunders puts it on the floor. Then the pull-up, no good. And the rebound, Freeman. And the foul will be called on Freeman. And Jim Calhoun doesn't like that one. Wow.
Terrific rebound by Freeman, and Jim Calhoun with the look of disbelief on this one. Freeman goes inside, comes up with the board. Can't see what happened there, though. The hands might have been low. I just can't see from the replay, though, exactly what happened.
I was about to say another illustration of the old Freeman with that rebound.
Well, he's all over it. There's no question about that. And, oh, right away, coming back with the turnover at the other end.
Bell with the travel. Bell, like El Amin, from Minneapolis. As is Darius Lane, the sophomore sensation at Seton Hall, who, along with Bell, would have to be considered the leading contenders for the Big East Rookie of the Year award. Lane did not play as a freshman because he was a partial academic qualifier.
Getting into warm gyms during those cold winters up in Minnesota to work on the game.
So 3 youngsters choosing the Big East out of the Twin Cities. El Amin's shot partially blocked, but Pina evidently got a piece of College. That's number 2 on Pina and number 3 on the Eagles.
And that's what El Amin needs to do more of tonight, I think, is just look for that dribble penetration, look for his own shot if it's there. Otherwise, what he does so well is distribute the basketball.
El Amin has not missed a free throw attempt in a Big East game this year. He's now a perfect 31 for 31. He's 5th in the country in free throw shooting. And he's also 6th on the all-time UConn career list when it comes to free throw shooting percentage.
Well, you want your point guard to be able to handle the basketball and make the free throws, particularly in close games. And he's the man they want to have it with. He gets it done. That's a great streak that he's got going. surprised you didn't jinx him when you were saying that. There's nice comments and nothing but net.
Well, you may recall El-Amin hit the 2 biggest free throws of his career in the closing seconds in the NCAA final to make a 1-point lead, a 3-point lead over Duke. Off the miss, Agbai with the rebound, and UConn will be whistled for a foul. That will be number 3 on the Huskies, and the first of the night on Edmund Saunders.
Connecticut foul on number 51, Edmund Saunders.
Jim Calhoun's club with a tough stretch here. Will visit Notre Dame Saturday and at Seton Hall on Monday. Tough shot by Troy Bell.
He does take some very tough runners. That's why his percentage, I think, from 3-point land stronger than 2-point land. That was a great runner right there. I think he brought a little bit of rain down with the arc he put on that ball.
BC by 1. We're past the midway point of the first half. El-Amin comes around the screen, puts it on the floor, and hits in traffic.
All I could see there, Bob, with a waving hands by BC. He has that knack to get the ball just over the outstretched arms of the defenders.
First field goal of the night for El-Amin. He's got 4 points. Agbai puts it on the floor. The big fellow from Archbishop Malloy in New York City.
Well, he's coming off a career-high 19 points against Vanderbilt after a double-double in the previous game against Rutgers. He's playing well.
Freeman misses the jumper. Rebound taken down by Pina. BC with some numbers here. 4 on 3. And Beerbaum fills the lane. Robertson blocks the shot, but evidently got him with the body. That will be the first foul on Robertson and number 4 on UConn.
Well, I think the key for BC early in this game is they got themselves into it. They got the 6-2 lead, and right now they're playing pretty even basketball with the Connecticut Huskies. Al Skinner's club, young. They're inexperienced, but he's keeping them together. They're playing hard every day in practice, and this is a pretty tough road trip they're on right now.
Indeed it is. It's the third of 4 games on the trip for Skinner's Eagles. It began with the heartbreaker at St. John's, then a game at 23rd ranked Vanderbilt on Sunday, then this one here against number 12 UConn. And then they will play at Seton Hall on Saturday, and Seton Hall is as hot along with Miami. They're the 2 hottest teams in the Big East.
Tough stretch, and they're just trying to hold it together, but they are competing at every one.
Robertson starts to go. Agbai and Walls were both there. Walls will get whistled for the foul, and this is the stretch that we were just talking about for the Eagles, who have lost 9 consecutive games. Al Skinner told me yesterday we seem to play up to or down to the level of our competition. We need the same enthusiasm against everyone that we demonstrated against Syracuse. They played the Orangemen tough, Ron.
I was at that one. They really did. They played well. They really did not match up well, but they played everyone well. The difference was the big fella in the side. Eton Thomas took over late, but it was a very game BC effort.
Tony Robertson sits down, replaced by fellow freshman guard Marcus Cox, 6'4", out of Colby Cathedral High School in Bridgeport. So it's a BC lead by 1. A little over 8 minutes to go in the half, and Pina with the catch on the sideline. Inside it goes to Singletary, and Cox quickly picks up his first foul. That's number 5 on UConn.
This is a nice catch that time by Dwayne Peener on the weak side. He's a former walk-on on the Boston College team. He does a nice solid job at point when he gets some minutes in the game.
Walls down low, wants to go on Mooring, and El-Amin comes from the weak side, picks his pocket. Walls steals it right back and gives to Agbai. Agbai follows his own miss, and then Deng finally clears the boards. Here's Mooring to Cox. Pass inside, deflected back out. Mooring for 3. His second of the night. Albert Mooring has the second best career 3-point shooting percentage in UConn history, second only to a player by the name of Ray Allen, as in NBA All-Star Ray Allen, who will be playing in the All-Star game this Sunday in Oakland.
It's in great company. Oh, nice move by Singletary as BC stays right in this game.
We're tied at 20, 4 points for Singletary, the transfer from Howard University. El-Amin walks it across, defended by Pina, gets the high screen from Freeman, and away from the play we'll get a whistle and a foul. I think it will be on Singletary for the Eagles. That's team foul number 5 and personal foul number 1 on Singletary.
Boston College foul number 23, Xavier.
Timeout, 7:05 to go in the half. Albert Mooring and the Huskies are dead even with Boston College. House, the Hartford Civic Center, 16,294 on hand to see the defending national champions play the Boston College Eagles, who are 1-8 in conference play, but they've lost some heartbreakers.
Oh, look at the average loss margin, 6.5 points per game, and you can see that they've been in the games, and last year they lost it by 14, so they've been in them, they've been competitive, they're young, and again, they're just looking to build their confidence to sneak a win in one of these tough games they're playing right now.
Robertson back in for UConn, can't get the shot to fall, and a dang putback is no good. Here comes Walls to Beerbaum. His shot partially blocked by Robertson, who takes it away. Here comes UConn. They're 5-on-3. Elamine dribble drives right by Bell. Kick out Mooring. His third three of the night. It was set up by the Elamine penetration.
I love that dribble penetration by Elamine, but great finish by Mooring. And again, a tough runner by Bell.
Bell didn't even draw iron. Dang brings it down and dribbles it up the floor himself. Goes to Freeman, who has his pocket pick. And it winds up in the hands of Walls.
It's a quick opportunity there for UConn. They need more of that to push the ball and generate the offense off the defense.
Beerbaum drives, tried to feed Agbai, knocked it out of bounds. BC ball with 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Albert Mooring with 3 threes tonight and 52 on the year.
Great dish. He's got the confidence in the roll going from that distance, so find him early and often. If you're a UConn Husky fan, he's getting it done from three-point land.
The shot clock is down to 12 as Bell dribbles around the perimeter. Now on the switch, Freeman with a hand in Singletary's face. Long rebound, Elamine. Here's a 3-on-2. He's got Mooring to the left, and Mooring has the shot rejected by Bell. Walls alley-oop to Beerbaum. That was not a wise decision. So we saw our share of action there at both ends.
Well, the pace is picking up at both ends, and a lot happens, but nothing really productive. Kind of a fancy pass by Elamine, but he didn't really draw the defense the way he typically does. The nice rejection, and then BC is having good opportunities, and they're not cashing in right now to take advantage. It drives a coach crazy when you go for the home run pass and you throw that ball out of bounds, especially after a good play.
Joe Dang with a good illustration of how versatile he can be. As he hits the three, has a nice soft touch from the outside. It's his 4th three-pointer of the year in 17 attempts. So we've seen a little bit of everything from Dang tonight. The three-point story. BC has failed to connect from behind the arc.
That's been the story for UConn, making 4 of 6.
Robertson knocked it loose. Bell gets it back, but the shot clock's all the way down to 10. On the left, Beerbaum.
Uh-oh, that one went sailing on him.
Great one-handed catch by associate UConn head coach Dave Lado. That was a terrific play.
Well,
he never made plays like that at Northeastern, I'll tell you that.
I think he's got a little stickum on the hand. That was great focus, but how did he just reel that thing in one-handed? Come on now.
Never let go of the rolled-up notes he has in his left hand. I'm most impressed.
Great focus. But Beerbaum's top just goes way out of there. Oh, and he leans back, stays with the rolled up, notes in the other hand. That's just a great effort by Dave Lado.
Nice to have big hands, isn't it?
I think he was calling out instructions, too, as he reeled it in.
Didn't miss a beat. Meanwhile, UConn with the ball and suddenly a 6-point lead. Robertson to Mooring. Mooring gives to Elamine around the pick, picked up on the switch by Walls. The runner, no good. There's Freeman with the putback. So it's been a different Kevin Freeman tonight than the one that the Huskies have seen in, say the last 2 weeks or so. It's been more like the Freeman that Husky fans saw the last 3 years.
Well, he's really gotten himself into the paint offensively, so he's been a force on the offensive glass.
4 rebounds, 6 points for Freeman. Bell misses the 3 and is fouled, and that's the 12th time this year that Troy Bell has managed to draw a foul while attempting a 3, which means, of course, he'll shoot 3.
That's exactly right. And last time down is Freeman. No one puts a body on him. BC in the 2-3 zone that time. Freeman with a nice finish. And Troy Bell has got the quick release. He's often closely guarded. He's also an outstanding free throw shooter, as you see his numbers at 87%.
Second foul on Robertson, 6 on the Huskies, as Bell makes the first free throw. He is the 3rd leading free throw shooter in the Big East and 21st in the country in that department. Bo Archibald will return to the lineup for UConn.
College, number 13, Kenny Harley, replacing Kenny Walls.
And Kenny Harley replaces Kenny Walls for the Eagles.
Connecticut, Bo Archibald, replacing Tony Robertson.
Now, Al Skinner will go to his bench throughout the ball game. Brian Ross is nursing a very sore back, but the BC bench has been productive this year as Bell once again knocks all 3 of those free throws down.
He's got 7. Timeout. 3:55 to go in the first half. UConn with a 5-point lead over BC. A look at UConn senior Jake Voskuhl sitting it out with a sprained ankle tonight, and that's something, sitting it out, that we haven't had to say very much, have we? It's only the 4th game in his UConn career that he isn't starting. It's only the 3rd game he's missing, period. And the Huskies hope to get him back Saturday for Notre Dame.
Well, he's got the tender ankle. He just turned it late in the Michigan State game, and sometimes you sit one down and it keeps you going longer when you get back. Mooring continues. Now Bobby's having a great night.
13 points. That one was a 2 as the Huskies beat the BC pressure and capitalized with a man advantage at the other end.
Well, Connecticut started very flat tonight, but Mooring has been consistent knocking it down as Connecticut has stayed man-to-man throughout.
Harley defended by Archibald, who's seen playing time sparingly this year. He's had all kinds of injury problems in his brief UConn career. Agbai to Harley. Shot clock running down again. Inside Agbai, who spins, uses the left, and Saunders there to clean up.
It's nice post defense by UConn. They're playing behind Agbai and forcing him to take some very difficult shots.
Mooring, this time defended by Bell. 3 minutes to go in the half. UConn with its largest lead of the night at 7. Freeman up top. Now it's Elamine. Let's see if he tries to go on Harley, using his quickness.
Elamine at his best. He's a penetrator. He's a great shot release guy, very quick, and he's able to get it up again over the D.
6 points for College. The UConn lead is 9. Bell with the runner. Rebound Elamine. Here comes UConn. This is a 5-on-4 as Bell gets up very slowly at the other end. Mooring with the tough catch and the 3. Oh! The 4th three-pointer of the night for Albert Mooring. Al Skinner calls time, and all of a sudden, UConn has opened up a 12-point lead.
Great job by Mooring. They've been finding him out of the offense, but he's been the whole key offensively in this first half by the Huskies. We'll see if Al Skinner will come out with an adjustment, but again, Elamine with the beautiful drive. Now you've got to keep an eye on him defensively. And Connecticut's been doing a real nice job, led by Elamine, to find the hot hand. Nice skip pass. Nothing but net. Mooring is just in a complete roll from three-point land.
Well, here's a guy who began the night shooting 50.5% from three-point range and has improved upon it by going 4 for 4 in the first 17 minutes and 42 seconds.
It's pretty tough to do when you come in shooting that way, but he's been the man that's been open. You take what the defense gives you, and Mooring has been making Boston College pay the price. And you can see that he is almost 10 points better shooting from three-point land than 2. He's set, he's ready, and he's knocking him down.
Those were his numbers entering the evening. He's improved on both tonight. Harley puts it on the floor, leaves for Agbai. On the right, Harley gets the screen from Agbai. Now Bell. Long 3 over Cox. Long rebound. Last touch, I believe, by Saunders. So a fresh 35 to shoot for the Eagles.
Troy Bell shot the 3 so well against St. John's 2 games ago and came up dry last game against Vanderbilt. And he seems to be a bit on and off so far in this one.
Bell starts to penetrate, tries to dish it inside, and it's deflected out of bounds by Cox. Coming up on our national car rental halftime report, Ron and I will take a look at the Big East Wire, show you some of the Big East statistical leaders, and have first half highlights and stats from this one. That's coming up on the national car rental halftime report. Jim Calhoun told me this week, Ron, I'm certainly not writing off the season, but I continue to see some disturbing trends. We have 8 games left to correct. He said he saw in his players' eyes the other day against Michigan State when they fell behind early that they were not going to come back.
Now, that's not what you want to see. You want to see the fight. It's become really a tradition for Connecticut and very unusual. Oh, nice shot by Elamine. To see them get taken out of a couple of games, which is what happened against Syracuse as well as Michigan State.
9 points for Elamine. This is an 18-3 UConn run, which has opened up a 15-point lead. Singletary shot no good, and on the rebound, a foul will be called on the Eagles. That will be their 7th, so the Huskies will head down the other end to shoot some free throws.
This has been Boston College's problem as Al Skinner looks on, where they will go into droughts offensively. They're young, they're inexperienced, and Damon Singletary will have his hot and cold moments. They need him to step up, and right now BC just can't find the way in their half-court offense against the tough UConn man-to-man D.
Let me correct myself. That's only number 6 on BC, so UConn will not shoot. There's the UConn run. Singletary picking up his 2nd foul. Saunders spins, and Agbai did a great job of making Saunders take that from much further out. Then Cotton picks it cleanly out of Freeman's hands. 3-on-1. Walls hit the bottom of the rim. Here's Saunders to Elamine. Back to Saunders.
Oh, that is vintage UConn basketball right there. Give and go action with Elamine. Again, distributing the basketball.
6 assists for Khalid Elamine in the first 19.5 minutes. A 1-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. UConn has opened up a 17-point lead.
And suddenly BC to me looks kind of tired, Bob. They've had a tough weekend and they're having trouble getting anything going offensively.
Bell off balance shot. The putback no good. Saunders with the rebound. It's a 3-on-1. Saunders takes it himself. Can't get it to go, and the half will come to an end. So a remarkable run by UConn to end the half has opened up a big fat 17-point lead, led by Albert Mooring, 16 points, and he's been bullseye perfect from behind the arc. So we're halfway home at the Hartford Civic Center. UConn trying to make it 22 straight against Boston College. They're off to a heck of a start. Up 17. Agbai, and for the Huskies, Albert Mooring chatting with Carl Hobbs. Hobbs is a shooting coach, I understand, by the way. Taught him everything he knows.
There you go. He's taking credit right now. Look at Mooring's numbers. 4 for 4 from three-point land, 16. Elamine with a strong floor game, and Freeman was very, very good as well, hitting the offensive boards.
And this is the matchup in the backcourt between Bell and Mooring, and it's been no contest.
Bell's got to create a lot of his own shots. What's going to happen is, I'm sure Al Skinner is going to get a point guard in at BC and set the table more for Bell. Right now, he's got to try to dribble, penetrate, as well as create his own shot.
Singletary to inbound directly in front of us. What Carl Hobbs was really saying to Mooring in that conversation was, look, if they had the three-point rule when I played,
I would have had about 50 tonight.
Hobbs, a terrific player here at UConn during his undergraduate days.
Well, he was great at point, really took charge, and a lot of assists.
This is Bell with the runner, uses the glass, and the rebound is pulled down by Kevin Freeman for Freeman, his 5th of the night.
Kind of reminiscent, Bob, looking at that bank shot of the game ender that almost went down at St. John's that Bell took.
BC losing by 1 at St. John's on Saturday. The Eagles won their first Big East game against Providence and have lost 9 straight since, 8 in the league, and a non-league game at 23rd ranked Vanderbilt on Sunday.
Well, they're in danger of losing their first Big East game by double figures. Every other game has been single digits. They've been right in them.
Time running down on the shot clock. Freeman puts it on the floor, and it's tipped up and in by Mooring.
Wow. What is it Mooring doing tonight? What a great athletic play right there as the guard goes inside and gets involved with that offensive tip. That's a great play.
He's 7 of 10 from the floor, so it's a 19-point UConn lead. Bell's shot blocked by Elamine. A foul is called, and that will send Bell to the free throw line.
Might have been a break right there for Troy Bell on the shot. Looked like El-Amin had the ball on that one, but Bell nevertheless back to the line where he's very, very effective.
So Bell at the line is going to be shooting 3 again. This is uncanny. His knack of drawing fouls when attempting the 3. It's the 2nd time tonight and the 13th time this season. But of course, he hits his 3s at 40%, so it's not like you can't challenge him.
I think he draws the defense out there, gets the defense to foul him, and what he needs to look for as well is that penetration, and maybe get Singletary involved in the offense, who's got to be more of a factor for Boston College.
Bell was a perfect 10 for 10 at the line against New Hampshire this year. And tonight he's a perfect 6 for 6. He's got 10 points. So BC gets on the board, and some token half-court trap employed. Doesn't bother the Huskies. El-Amin looking for Freeman down low.
Forces him to take some time off the clock, though. Oh, nice pass.
Great dish inside. Saunders, and the foul is assist number 7 for Khalid El-Amin.
Now that's what the penetrating point guard can do for you, and El-Amin is really the floor general, no question about it, for this Connecticut team. He draws the defense, and a coach will tell you, take what the defense gives you. In years and years of play, tell El-Amin what to do, and quite often he makes the right decisions.
Saunders completes the 3-point play. The foul on Agbai is first. El-Amin, he is 8th in career assists at UConn.
Man-to-man by Connecticut. They've been playing that all night long against BC and have not given the Eagles many open looks out of this half-court set.
Harley to Singletary. Bell defended by El-Amin. Back to Bell. Shot clock at 10. How many times we said that tonight? Bell gives up his dribble. Left side jumper, Harley, no good. Long rebound to Mooring. The Eagles shot 31% in their loss at Vanderbilt Sunday, 29% in the first half tonight. Down low, Juan backs his way in, then kick out to Saunders. Juan to El-Amin. Juan sets the high screen if El-Amin wants it. Now he'll go around it and fires the 3. Long rebound, Saunders, and a fresh 35 for UConn.
Now the bigger front line for Connecticut really taking charge right now.
Mooring pull-up jumper. Hey, he finally missed one. Juan battles for the rebound but can't control, and here comes Bell. Has Harley on the left for 3. Kenny Harley, the junior from the Bronx. 5 points on the night, his 9th 3-pointer of the season.
Bell pushed it that time. BC needs more of that. Oh, someone's got to step in there. BC looking tired right now defensively.
El-Amin, the 12th leading scorer in UConn history, now with 11 points on the night. He was the preseason selection for Big East Player of the Year, an honor shared last year by his teammate Richard Hamilton and Tim James of Miami.
You're going to extend your defense. You've got to have some weak side help, some help from behind, and no one that time stepped in for Boston College.
Down low, Singletary, and he shoots up and over Juan, which is not easy to do. And at the other end, the Huskies draw the foul.
That's what you call getting a fast break off of a made field goal, and Jim Calhoun's teams have always looked to do that. Get it in quickly, that's the key, and then push the ball up the floor before the defense can set. Boston College right now, they played the Saturday, Sunday package of games at St. John's, at Vanderbilt, traveled home from Tennessee. It was a tough trip back, and they look a little bit tired to me right now, Bob.
Not only that, but their charter flight home from Nashville was canceled. So they had to spend the night in Nashville and take a commercial flight home. And Al Skinner and the gang didn't get back home until 2:15 on Monday afternoon. When we get a chance later in the ballgame, we'll tell you the saga of that scheduling. It wasn't BC's plan to play 2 games in 2 days, and they're very, very upset at Vanderbilt that they had to. Agbai with the jumper. Don't think he wanted to do it that way, but he'll take it. He's got 6.
We used to always ask in the schoolyards and pickup games, now, did you call that? The key is to go back with the straight face. Of course I was ready to bank that.
Saunders with the high post jumper, no good. Tipped up, Deng, no good. Rebound, Freeman. Kevin Freeman has been quite active off the offensive glass tonight. He's got 9 points in the ball game. That was his 6th rebound of the evening and his 5th offensive rebound.
Well, if Connecticut was flat early in this game, which they were right from the opening tap, as the game has gone on, they've really picked it up with some solid half-court man defense.
Singletary for 3, his 2nd 3 of the night. Singletary is 13th in the league in 3-point shooting percentage. He's got 9 points in the ball game. It's a 14-point UConn lead. The Huskies 16-5 overall and 5-3 in the Big East. They are exactly halfway through the conference schedule. El Amin for 3.
Wow, just trading baskets. El Amin, you get the feeling sometimes, Bob, he can really just score at will whenever he wants to take that shot.
He's got 14. He's 5th in the Big East in 3-point shooting percentage. Moring goes way up in the air for that rebound. Guards aren't supposed to jump like that. El Amin right back with another 3. And Al Skinner says, let's talk it over. It's a 20-point UConn lead. UConn is 8 for 11 from 3-point range.
Been the story tonight, but the real story has been Connecticut's half-court defense. BC shot just 31% in the Vanderbilt loss. They're struggling shooting tonight, and El Amin is taking over this game right now with the penetrator. He dishes when men come and pick him up, and then he says, hey, you're going to play off me? I'm going to stick a couple of 3-point shots, and that's why he's one of your top backcourt people and point guards in America. He's a great one, and he's showing you some of his top skills here tonight.
You mentioned Al Skinner was very upset. They entered into a 2-year agreement to play Vanderbilt. This year at Vandy, next year at BC. They exchanged some dates, and BC wanted to play the game in early January before they got into the meat of their conference schedule. And according to Al Skinner, Vanderbilt said, no, we want to play you on February 6th, which was the day after they had a game at St. John's. And according to Al Skinner, he said Vanderbilt threatened to invoke the penalty clause of the contract. So after playing at St. John's on Saturday, they had to get on a plane. I mean, nobody wants to play in successive days, particularly when one of them is a non-conference game in the middle of your conference season.
With that kind of travel.
Right, and he's so upset, he does not want them to play the game, the return engagement next year at BC. He wants to sever the relationship between the two schools.
And it takes a lot, really, to irritate Al Skinner, so that's a tough situation right there.
Timeout, 14:23 to go. It's UConn by 20.
For Freeman and Saunders off the glass.
UConn leads the Big East and is 13th in the country in 3-point shooting percentage. They were at 39% entering the night, and that will go up as a result of what they've done in the first 26 minutes. Beer bomb inside, can't get it to go. Deng with the rebound, then taken right away by Harley, but he stepped in the end line. There's no question what the priority is going to be for Joe Deng in the offseason, and that's to hit the weight room and get stronger.
Well, there's a lot of big physical players in the Big East, which has always been known for, you know, the intense physical play. And he's got some great finesse moves, but he'll have to bulk up a bit, as you mentioned. BC stays man-to-man.
Deng 5.7 rebounds and a couple of blocked shots tonight, seeing extra playing time because of the injury to Bosco. Good look, Moring to Saunders.
What a great game by Moring. He's shooting it, and now the defense has got to respect you. He reads it, and he dishes off beautifully inside to Saunders. He's really playing well tonight.
7 points for Edmund Saunders, with a couple of those high percentage shot variety.
That'll increase the field goal numbers for sure, but see, Agbai's got to respect Moring. He's been knocking it in all night, comes up to help, and that's why we talk a lot about the dribble penetration. You pull the defense, and then if your head's up, you can make that kind of a pass.
Saunders entering the night 4th in career field goal shooting percentage for UConn at 54%. Bell with the runner, no good. Good rebound by Agbai. Misses the shot. There we say, pretty good illustration there of why Deng needs to get stronger. That rebound just kind of trickled off his hands, although it wound up in the lap of a teammate. El Amin, nice feed to Deng. Oh, Khalid El Amin with his 7th assist of the night.
He's doing it at will right now. The penetration and that shift over the left hand, making it look easy.
El Amin is 8th on the all-time assist list here at UConn. He's also 8th in the Big East this season. Agbai misses the jumper. And there's Mooring with the rebound.
BC shooting it quickly now. They're way down in this one and just cannot seem to find any kind of range offensively. They're only getting one attempt each time. It's all Connecticut.
Freeman in traffic and the foul. Well, we mentioned at the beginning of the night that he has been struggling. Certainly not struggling tonight, is he?
No, he isn't. And this could be a big confidence boost for Kevin Freeman and the UConn Huskies. They're coming off a very, very tough loss. Never really in the game at Michigan State. Look at that dish by Elamine shifting in midair to the left hand. Makes it look easy, but a very, very difficult play right there. He's got great court vision.
This is what Freeman's done tonight, exceeding his scoring average. As we showed you a graphic earlier in the night how all of Freeman's numbers are down from a year ago. Scoring, he's down a couple of rebounds per game, and his field goal shooting percentage is way down. Following the missed free throw, Saunders with another rebound. His 7th of the night. Elamine for 3. Rebound Freeman again, and as he goes up, Beerbaum takes it away, and the Huskies wanted a foul. And then Pina has his pocket picked by Saunders behind the back to Mooring. Oh my goodness, they're doing it all.
Well, they sure are right now. It's an aggressive Connecticut team clicking on all cylinders, and Al Skinner says, hey, let's talk it over, let's regroup. This one's really gotten away from the Boston College Eagles.
20 points for Albert Mooring, and unofficially, I wonder, is that the first behind-the-back assist of Edmund Saunders' career?
Might be. That was a great dish. Somehow he felt it. He got it there. And for Connecticut, they're playing free and easy right now, Bob. Everywhere they play, when they go on the road, it's quite often the biggest game of the season for the team that invites them in. So they've always got that pressure, and the pressure to win. It's gotten away from them a couple of times, and right now is a pivotal game really tonight to regain that confidence and get back on track as you head into the final stages of the season.
Well, it was certainly Syracuse's biggest home game of the season when the Huskies went there. Same for Michigan State, or well, let's say certainly the biggest non-league home game for Michigan State, because after all their games in the conference would have to be considered more important. Pina left side for 3.
That's right. I mean, the point of it is everyone's up for UConn, and you know they've got to rise to that challenge constantly, and I think they realize that now. And for BC, they've been playing free and easy, but you know their problem is that they've been in-game unable to get over the hump, and tonight this one just getting away from them against a much bigger and more physical team inside.
Is Edmund Saunders having a second half or what? He's got 9 points and 7 rebounds in the ball game. Most of the damage here since intermission.
You know, and with the way Mooring and Elamine have played, it's really caused BC to extend and open up some nice lanes for Saunders inside.
Jonathan Beerbaum with a rare 3-point attempt. Elamine to Freeman, inside to Dang. They look like the Globetrotters.
It's a clinic right now with some of the passing, and it's not just Elamine and Mooring, the big guys, getting into the act as well.
Well, maybe this is the sort of game that can get the Huskies going. As we mentioned, 2 tough ones coming up at Notre Dame and at Seton Hall in a 72-hour period starting Saturday at noon.
Well, the thing they've done in this game, they've buckled down on defense, and they've been really getting out and pushing the ball now, Bob, which they didn't do at all early. And Connecticut needs to run, utilize some of their athleticism. Another tray. Forget about it.
The lead is 32.
And it was systematic, Bob. I mean, this was a very tight game through the first half, through half of the first half. Connecticut goes on the run, and they have not let up in the second half.
That's a career high for Albert Mooring with 23 points following his 5th 3 of the night. And Dwayne Pina with the 2. Foot was on the line. So Mooring with a career high, and he has 10 minutes to add to it. So we're seeing a different sort of Husky team without Jake Voskuhl tonight. And after a slow start, the Huskies really operating on all cylinders. Jake Voskuhl seems to be enjoying it as best he can, given his vantage point on the bench. It's been all Huskies. You're watching Big East basketball from ESPN+. Get the Beck's Beer game summary. The Huskies 9 of 13 from three-point range. 15-2 they lead BC in the points off turnover department. And Mooring and Elamine have combined for 40 points. Elamine has equaled his career high with 10 assists. Mooring has broken his career high with 23 points. Also, Joe Deng with 9 points has equaled his career high.
Big confidence boost for Dang. He's come in and done some nice things for Connecticut. The backcourt's been outstanding. And for Boston College, they just haven't had a lot of good looks tonight. Connecticut's played great half-court defense, and that has what's really opened up the offense for the Huskies.
Huskies shooting 65% this half. Nina with the steal. Beats Robertson down the floor, and Walls with the good hustle for the putback.
Never assume your teammate on the breakaway is going to get that easy one to go down. Always follow a good hustle.
Robertson right back inside, feeds Deng, and the hard foul on Brian Ross, who was checked into the lineup for the Eagles.
Nice penetration again. We've really seen this throughout the second half. That's a hard foul, but Ross was going for the ball, and Dang really stepped it up nicely tonight for Connecticut. Got some minutes, some positive things happening out there defensively, and he's also done a nice job making some nice catches and finishes inside.
Dang, the preseason selection for Big East Rookie of the Year. He clearly will not win that award. Leading contenders, I would imagine, are a couple of youngsters from Minneapolis. Troy Bell, whom we're seeing tonight, and Darius Lane of Seton Hall, who UConn will see on Monday night. You mentioned how whenever UConn plays on the road, it invariably is the biggest home game of the season for that school. That will certainly be the case this Saturday at Notre Dame. That game has been sold out for a couple of months. That will be the case Monday night at the Meadowlands when Seton Hall plays host to UConn.
That's right. And Connecticut wants to avenge the earlier loss to Notre Dame right here at the Civic Center. Troy Murphy and company, and of course Seton Hall, one of your hottest teams in the conference right now.
Jump hook by Agbai, no good. A rebound along the baseline. Last touch by Ross. Or will Ross be whistled for the foul? Now I guess he touched it last. So it will be Husky ball. Deng leaves, and he'll get a great ovation. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 for 6 shooting, couple of block shots. His most impressive performance of the year by far.
Nice job by Dang. And again, people will step up and play better. They'll elevate their games when someone's down. And Jake Voskuhl unable to go tonight with the ankle, and we've really seen, I think, Freeman and Saunders and Dang get the job done, along with Juan inside tonight for the Huskies.
Mooring down low to Freeman, backs his way in, turns, fires. Here's Singletary, 8.5 minutes remaining. Finds Walls on the left. It's a 3. Kenny Walls, the sophomore from San Francisco, with his 17th three-pointer of the year. He's got 7 points tonight.
Another one of the fine young players out there. Ross, a sophomore. Agbai, a freshman. Kenny Walls, a sophomore. So a lot of young players on this Boston College club as Al Skinner tries to put the pieces together for Boston College.
Singletary picks up his 4th foul on the perimeter. That will be 6 on the Eagles this half. The hand for Freeman as he leaves. 11 points, 9 rebounds.
His 4th personal foul, 6th on the team. Back in the Connecticut lineup,
Singletary remains on the floor with 4 fouls, with his club down by 26. Walls gets a hand on it. Elamine, reversal to Mooring. Shoots over Ross. Rebound, Juan. Suleiman Juan, the 6'11 senior from Senegal, making his 3rd career start tonight because of the ankle injury to Jake Voskuhl.
Another area where Connecticut's really taken charge tonight have been the backboards, especially the offensive boards.
Singletary can't get the 3 to go. Here comes UConn.
Connecticut with a 14 rebound advantage in this one. Just another indicator that they've just taken over. Oh!
Elamine with the stop-and-go dribble and the reverse layup. He's got 19 points to go with those 10 assists. This is Elamine's second double-double of the season. That's the assist points double-double. Far more difficult to achieve than the traditional points rebound double. And as Elamine starts to go, he'll draw the foul. And anytime he can get to the line, that's good for the Huskies. We are at the Hartford Civic Center in the capital city of Connecticut. Big East basketball on a Wednesday night. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Ron Perry. We have 6:55 to go. And defending national champion UConn with a 76-46 lead over Boston College. Khalid Elamine with 19 points and 10 assists for the Huskies. Albert Mooring has scored a career-high 23 points. Kevin Freeman with 11 points and 9 rebounds. Ajo Deng 10 points and 7 rebounds. It's been a balanced UConn effort without senior center Jake Voskuhl, who is missing a game for only the 3rd time in his career with a sprained ankle.
He's so quick, Elamine, with that move, and he's got Agbai covering him right there at 6'8", 6'9". But the thing about Elamine, he's got great presence. He's very, very quick out there, and he knows how to get his shot off. That was a beauty, up and under, all net.
Elamine now a perfect 34 for 34 from the line in Big East action. It's been all UConn this year. Big night for Khalid Elamine. His Huskies lead Boston College by 31. It's been a good night to be that guy, huh? Wearing the Husky mascot costume. Been a good night to wear anything with Husky on it. UConn with a 32-point lead, coming off a 19-point loss at Michigan State. Of course, when you look at the teams that have beaten UConn this year, Ron, Michigan State ranked 6th in the country at the time. Syracuse just losing for the first time the other night. The rejection by Juan.
Bell's forced to take a lot of those running type shots as he's got the ball looking to create, and they're tough percentage shots. Great D that time.
Elamine with the fade, no good. Rebound is pulled down by Bell, 2-on-2, and Mooring, who's done it all, anticipated the pass and picks it off.
That's good hustle. As flat as UConn might have been early starting this game, BC jumped out to a 6-2 lead. It's been a very systematic hustling effort by UConn as they've pulled into this 32-point advantage. Both ends of the floor.
Mooring left side. Robertson launches the 3. No good. Rebound is pulled down by Ross. Up the floor, Pina finds Walls for the breakout layup.
Boston College basket by
9 points for Walls. Boston College is shooting just 37% from the floor in Big East games this year and is shooting 33% thus far tonight. Mooring. Rebound off the hands of Ross to freshman Andrew Dudley, was checked in for the Eagles, who threw it away. Dudley is a 6'11" freshman out of Bristol, Pennsylvania. Well, you can't beat that for balance, huh?
That's great job right there. You got 4 guys in double figures, and Saunders knocking on the doorstep, led by the backcourt with Mooring and Elamine. That's just a great effort by UConn across the board tonight. And Jim Calhoun is not going to show it till after the game. Maybe he may not show it then either. He's got to be pleased with what he's now seeing as the bounce back effort after that tough weekend ball game against Michigan State.
Calhoun told me this week, this has been unlike any team I've had. I've had less talented teams achieve more. I'm very concerned about our consistency. So tonight is the sort of effort that he was hoping for in the wake of that one-sided defeat at Michigan State on Saturday. To Freeman on the left. No good. Rebound in traffic to Juan. And here comes Boston College.
How'd that one stay out?
This is a 4-on-3 inside to the freshman Dudley. Nice reverse layup.
Boston College basket by Andrew Dudley.
Good opportunity for Dudley, Bristol, Pennsylvania. 6'11", 250 to get some quality time out here tonight for Boston College as Al Skinner goes deep into the bench here. BC 2-3 zone right now.
Juan feeds down low to Freeman, and as he starts to go, he draws the foul. So Freeman will go back to the line. Freeman 1 rebound shy of achieving his second double-double of the year. He is the 19th leading scorer in UConn history. With his 11 points tonight, he has pulled within 16 points of the 18th leading scorer, Daron Sheffer. He was a great combination guard here for UConn. Played the 2 guard while with Kevin Ollie, and then after Ollie graduated, moved into the point guard spot on some great UConn teams, which went to the Final 8 1995 before losing to eventual champion UCLA in the Sweet 16 the next year before losing to Mississippi State. Bell, alley-oop. Now that, when you've lost 9 in a row and you're down 28 with 4:26 to go, that's not the play you're looking for.
That's just careless. Right now, BC needs to just stay within themselves. There's no way they can pull off the kind of comeback they would now need, but they just got to try to execute, because they're coming right back with another tough one against the Hall.
UConn tries the alley-oop. Saunders can't complete it, but he does draw the foul.
And there's an example of a much more controlled way to go for that play, as Elamine with the great eye contact with Saunders, who's been the beneficiary of some nice dishes tonight. And Al Skinner is a patient man, but his club right now, so many close losses. This is an awfully tough night for them, where they're really getting put away for the first time probably all season.
Well, I asked Al, how did he think his kids' confidence was at this point? He said some kids are fine, others are struggling. Some see the light at the end of the tunnel, and others don't. Pretty candid response.
Well, obviously a combination, and in general, you're not surprised to see that with a young team.
Bell tries to spin on Elamine, has it knocked away, gets it back, fires up the 3. Long rebound to Robertson. Here's a 4-on-2. Elamine, no good. Rebound Bell up the floor to Walls, who's all alone.
He can get up, can he?
And Jim Calhoun does not like what he sees, so even though his club is up 27, he wants to talk things over with 3:48 to go. Let's check some out-of-town scores brought to you by ESPN.com. It's part of the Go Network. 24th ranked North Carolina State losing at home to the North Carolina Tar Heels tonight. Number 25 LSU with a 12-point lead at home at the half over number 8 Auburn. Number 9 Indiana up 1 at the half at Minnesota in the Big Ten. In the Big 12, number 21 Iowa State trails by 3 at the half at Missouri. Number 6 Ohio State losing by 10 at home at the half to Iowa. That's a surprise. Number 9 Tennessee at home up 6 over Georgia at the half. Number 16 Texas, who lost to UConn earlier this year with a 16-point lead at home at the half. And number 23 Vanderbilt coming off the win over Boston College up 3 at the half at home. Florida plays Tennessee in a big SEC showdown this coming Saturday. Florida beating Kentucky last night, ending the Wildcats' 7-game winning streak.
Billy Donovan's club, the former standout at Providence. Really playing well.
Yeah, he was on that Providence team that has a magic run to the Final Four in 1987 with Rick Pitino running the show from the bench, eventually losing to Syracuse in the NCAA semifinals.
Billy Dewey shooting the 3 from downtown. Ernie Pop Lewis. That was an improbable run by the Friars.
Walls defended by Robertson. Now around the screen comes Pina. Shot clock at 10. Ross for 3. Rebounded by Elamine.
Ross playing with that very sore back. That's a nice touch from the perimeter. Couldn't get that one to go.
Ross led Massachusetts in scoring schoolboy basketball 2 years ago, averaged 36 points per game at North Quincy High School.
Highly recruited, highly touted, stayed close to home at Boston College.
Ross knocks it loose from Saunders, then knocks it loose again. Time running down to the shot clock. Juan says, I don't want this thing. Saunders inside over the freshman Dudley. Here comes Walls. And Walls gets fouled by Juan. Walls is kind of basket hanging here down the stretch, isn't he?
Big time effort though there to try to knife through the defense and stuff that one, the left-hander. Giving it a bid. This is a big time move right here. In between, looked like El Amin and Juan trying to send it down with the right hand. He has got some athletic ability. San Francisco. And again, another young player from BC, just a sophomore. Got a lot of talent.
So Walls at the free throw line. He was the high school player of the year 2 years ago in San Francisco. Juan will leave. So will Saunders. And so will Khalid El Amin. El Amin leaving with 21 points, 10 assists. Saunders departs with 12 points and 8 rebounds. Deng is back in. So is Cox. And our first look of the evening at Justin Brown, a 7-foot freshman from Perth, Australia. His 8th game of the year. He's played 23 minutes and has scored 13 points.
What did Walls move way over to the side for that free throw? He must have made an adjustment after his first one, but he was way over to the corner of the foul line that time. Normally you want to be right in the middle where your shooting arm is lined up with the rim.
So we approach the 2-minute mark with UConn up 29. Robertson gets the screen from Brown. Now finds Cox on the right.
Bob, the Big East race really shaping up in interesting fashion right now with Syracuse and Seton Hall right there in Miami, St. John's, Connecticut. So Connecticut wants to stay right on pace and make that run as we go into the latter part of this season.
Yeah, Syracuse, a 1-game lead over Seton Hall and Miami as Bell drills a long three. He's got 13 points, averaging 18 per game. He's tied for second in scoring in the Big East behind Troy Murphy of Notre Dame. Freeman, kick out to Cox for 3. Long rebound to Walls. Quickly to Pina. Agbai tried to hook it inside, but it was taken away. Deng's pass run down by Freeman. What will we see here?
The finish.
And the foul. What a night it's been for Kevin Freeman, the 6'7" senior from nearby Springfield, Massachusetts.
Now, it's been a big night for Kevin Freeman, and you know, you really get a good chance to see his athletic ability here tonight, underneath rebounding and running the fast break right here. And shows you his ability to handle the ball. His strength, by the way, too, with a man draped on him, Agbai. I think the crowd hoping he might dish that one back to Justin Brown, perhaps, for the stuff.
Freeman looking for his 14th point, doesn't get it, and Brown will be called for the foul on the rebound. And Calhoun about to pick up his 571st career win. He said, if we go back to playing defense the way we're capable, we'll be just fine. Timeout, 1:04 remaining. UConn well on its way to win number 17 and a 22nd straight win over Boston College. And 1:04 to go. Plenty of smiles and laughter on the UConn bench as the Huskies, Edmund Saunders, Kevin Freeman, Albert Mooring, enjoying a 28-point lead over Boston College. Checking into the lineup for the Huskies, freshman Brett Watson from Wichita, Kansas. He's a walk-on. Also, Bo Archibald is in. We saw him in the first half. This is Pina, defended by the much taller Archibald on the perimeter. Archibald takes it away, but called for the foul. It's time to look at our Advanced Auto Parts play of the game. Advanced Auto Parts, the best part is our people. Edmund Saunders at 6'8", going behind the back.
Where did he pick that pass up on the steal? Good hustle by Connecticut, and Saunders made it look easy with that behind the back job.
Pina with his second 3 of the night as we look at Saunders, who had a 12-point evening. So Pina had 1 3-pointer in the first 22 games and 2 more tonight. Inside the final minute, as this uncanny domination continues with the win tonight, as Deng nails one from the side. With the win tonight, it will be 22 straight for UConn over Boston College. That equals the longest winning streak in any series between 2 Big East schools. Syracuse once beat Seton Hall 22 straight times. Wall's 3-ball no good.
And, of course, we know what Seton Hall did to Syracuse on Monday night of this week.
Watson for 3. Cox with the left-handed tip-in for the exclamation point. So it was all UConn. The Huskies win it by a score of 87-58. UConn now 17-5 on the year, 6-3 in the Big East. Boston College drops to 9-14, 1-9 in the Big East. And the Eagles have lost 10 games in a row. That's the longest losing streak in Boston College history as UConn beats the Eagles for the 22nd straight time. Final in Hartford, UConn 87, Boston College 58. We'll be back from the Hartford Civic Center after this.
Came back with a great game here tonight. You had a career high 23, 5 of 5 from three-point land, and it looked like you had the shot and the touch going early, and you went to it quite a bit in this game, and it went down for you.
Yeah, I had a great warm-up. I was feeling it. Khalid was, penetrating, kicking it out to me.
How important was this game? Did you say to yourself, hey, after the Michigan State game over the weekend, we really got to bounce back in this one, and I'm going to look for my offense, or did you just let it come to you?
Our back is up against the wall right now, Everybody think, they think it down on us, and we got here to prove to everybody we're still the best team.
Well, there was no question you were out there doing your part with the shooting, and one of the things that was also impressive, Albert, was the half-court defense by your club and the balance. You guys really played tough defense against BC tonight.
Yeah, before the game, coach stressed that we got to go out and play defense. We play defense, we can win a lot of ball.
Yeah. Not only the defense, but also the shooting with you. Try to keep it up from that wing spot. It looks like you got the touch, and you're shooting probably waking up in the morning right now.
Yeah, I'm in a great rhythm right now. I just want to keep it going.
Over 50% and leading the conference from three-point land. Albert Mooring from three-point territory, and Khalid, really big win here. You had 21 points and tied a career high with 10 assists, and looked like you were really trying to get a lot of people involved in this one tonight for Connecticut.
I was. I think our biggest problem in the Michigan State game and also in the Syracuse game is that the perimeter players weren't really playing together. We would get into gaps and we wouldn't kick it out, and consequently we'd get turnovers. So that was the emphasis of tonight, to come out and have the perimeter players play together, and we were making shots, so that made it that much easier.
And obviously with both you and Albert getting that job done, and with Jake Voskuhl out with his ankle injury, some people really stepped up inside with Kevin Freeman and Edmund Saunders, and also Ajo Dang had a nice game tonight.
Definitely, and we need that type of play. I hope it doesn't take Jake to get hurt for those players to step up, but I think Ajo came in and gave us a great spark, and Edmund played his consistent basketball, and that's all we need to make it back to where we want to go. And as long as our perimeter players are making shots, we'll be a tough team to beat when it comes into March.
Well, you guys have it going right now, and of course coming up, you've got a tough test at Notre Dame over the weekend. You want to avenge the game that you had here with them, and they're going to be fired up. And then of course you got to go to Seton Hall. They just upended Syracuse, so it's really a tight battle right now.
It's not an easy road. The road does not get easier, it actually gets tougher. So we definitely have to get our game that much tighter, and we're looking forward to playing Notre Dame on Saturday. They played a great game against us here on the 3rd of January, and so we're going to come back and try to beat them at their place. But like I said, the road doesn't get easier, it gets tougher, and we have to consistently get better.
And consistency is one of the keys that Jim Calhoun talks about a lot. And what really brings that all together down the stretch? You have that game over the weekend. You bounce back tonight. Is this going to be a springboard game for you as you start to make that push for the Big East title?
I think that's how we're going to use the game. As long as we continue to practice hard and work hard and play together, things is going to work out for us. That was just evident here tonight. And I think as long as we just continue to play together, everything will work out fine. Coach is going to continue to push us, and we're going to continue to want to get better. So as long as you got those two components going, we'll be fine.
And as long as you're out there dishing that basketball and making it happen for the Huskies, they've got a good chance to do it. Great job, Khalid.
Thank you.
All right. Khalid El-Amin with another great performance for Connecticut. Back to you, Bob.
Okay, Ron, notice how Khalid remembers the date of the loss to Notre Dame. By the way, Albert Mooring 5 for 5 from three-point range tonight. That means on the year he's shooting 52.8% from behind the arc. UConn wins it 87-58. Back with more from Hartford after this.
Connecticut to get back on track, get people involved. And when we got to the gym tonight, of course, to have Jake Voskuhl not suited up with that tender ankle, that wasn't the way that Jim Calhoun wanted to suit up, but people really got the job done, stepped up inside. But the backcourt tonight really led the way with El-Amin and Mooring shooting it, dishing it, and I thought the defense really stepped up as the game went along, not allowing BC many good opportunities.
Let's take a look at some final stats from the ball game. UConn shooting 46%, the Huskies 9 for 17 from three-point range. It was Mooring with 23 Elamine, 21 points, equaled his career high with 10 assists. Kevin Freeman, 13 points and 9 rebounds. Edmund Saunders, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Zhou Deng with a career high 12 points and 8 rebounds. And for Boston College, Troy Bell with 13 points on just 3 of 12 shooting. So UConn now 17-5, 6-3 in the Big East. Visits Notre Dame Saturday. Boston College 9-14, 1-9 in the league, and will visit Seton Hall on Saturday. So for Ron Perry, I'm Bob Picozzi. Thanks so much for joining us, and so long from the Hartford Civic Center, where UConn beats Boston College 87-58.